Hey y'all, hey. My name is Springy Step and I'm a Blue Diamond with doTERRA. I have been doing doTERRA for almost 8 years. In July of this year, it'll be 8 years. And I am excited to be with you today. We are going to have a great time and we're going to go over some tips and tricks for how you can make your online class awesome, how you can take it from being flat and boring and with no interaction to an online event where people are excited to be there, where it's very interactive, and most importantly, where you close your meeting and actually get enrollments from that. Okay, so I want you to grab something to write with, get comfortable, and let's just kind of move through some quick pointers on how you can make your next online class awesome. All right, so here's the thing. We have gone from being mostly in person, right, belly to belly with people, to having to do just about everything in an online space through a Zoom room or a Google Hangout or something like that. So a lot of people are feeling really frustrated with this online space. And I don't want you to feel that way because it really has been a powerful tool for us to create incredible momentum with people who normally would never even come to a class, because now a lot of people are really feeling like this is where it's at. It's all online. So what are the things that you can do to kind of step up your online game? How can you step up your online class? Let's talk about it. The first thing that I want you to kind of always remember that you need to do before you have an online class is you need to be well hydrated. So always make sure that you have something to drink. In some of my classes, I have a lot of fun with it. And I say, grab a drink, whether it's water or wine or coffee or whatever you want to drink, grab your drink. And I always make sure that I have my drink ready and I'm well hydrated before and I've gone to the bathroom, because there's nothing worse than starting a class and then feeling like, ooh, I need to go to the bathroom. And then you're uncomfortable the whole time and you can't focus. So that's no fun, okay? So make sure you get a drink. And the other thing I want you to do is make sure that you turn off your phone. You guys, the worst thing is to be doing a class online and then hearing the person who's teaching the class, them getting notifications, right? Like their phone's dinging and buzzing, or getting text messages. Like, just turn all that mess off. Just silence it. You don't need to see it, because when you're teaching a class, you want to be present in this space right here, right? So get a drink, turn your phone off, and I want you to make sure that wherever you're doing a class, you have good lighting. Friends, good lighting is crucial to how well the people that are in your class are going to pay attention to you and be engaged, because nobody wants to see bad lighting in a class. So make sure your space is bright. My office and where I do my classes is in my basement. So I have to have a lot of lighting in this space because I don't have any windows. So I have a ring light behind me and I've got lamps on, and I've got lights on, because I want my space to be well lit so people can see my face and it's not dark and hard to see, all right? So you can get yourself a really inexpensive ring light from Amazon and have it delivered to your door. You can do those small clip lights that you clip onto your computer, your device, but I recommend getting a really good stand light that's going to bring some light into your area so you don't have a lot of dark shadows and people won't have trouble focusing on what they need to focus on, and that is you, right? Okay, so good lighting. And the other thing that goes right up there with good lighting is camera angle. Friends, if you're going to teach an online class, please, please, please make sure your camera angle is appropriate, all right? This can easily be accomplished by creating some sort of a stand with boxes where you set your laptop or computer at eye level, or getting a high desk, or any sort of a situation where you can raise your camera up and you want it to be at eye level. I'm going to show you. I'm on my computer and I just want you to see what a difference camera angle can make. So my computer rotates. So if I don't have my computer like I should, my head's going to be cut off and people are going to wonder the whole time what's happening up here, right? They can't see my poof. But then again, if I have my camera angle like this and it's all this space up here, do you see what I'm saying? It is really distracting because the whole time people are wondering why, what's happening. So if you are prepared and you have your camera where it should be, it can sit right in front of you at eye level and it makes you the center of the screen. Number one, it's much more flattering. And number two, it helps with focus and engagement on your class. Okay. So camera angle, lighting, all of that good stuff, it plays a really important role in how well people are going to be connected to you during your class, right? All right, so moving right along, when you're teaching a doTERRA class, I think it's really important that you have a diffuser. You guys, you need a diffuser in your space. It's not always possible to have it where it can be visually seen, but a diffuser with some of your favorite oils is going to help so much with the mood and the space that you're creating online. So I just think it's a little tip to throw in there. If you have the space to have a diffuser while you're teaching an online class, do it. It helps so much. Now, this next thing is really important. Friends, you need to remember to smile. Sometimes it's really hard to remember to do this, but if you're teaching a class online or if you're on a class with other people who are teaching, please remember to smile. It says a whole lot to other people when you're smiling in your online class. It helps them to know that you're present. It helps them to know that you're happy. And if you're smiling and happy, your class is going to go so much better than if you are flat-faced and thinking about all the things that you have to do later. It makes everybody feel blah when you're not smiling. So smile, get excited, be happy to be there, and it's going to completely change the atmosphere of your online class. Make sure before you start your class that you are prepared with all of the oils, all of the products that you're going to need to showcase during your class. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to open every single bottle of oil and oil blend and put those on the entire time. No. But it's really nice when you're talking about, say, adaptive, that you hold the bottle up so people can see what you're talking about when you're talking to them. Because some people that have been invited to these classes have never even seen a bottle of Copaiba, or they've never seen a bottle of Purify. They don't know what fractionated coconut oil is. So you need to have all of those things that you're going to cover in your class close by so that you can easily grab them and show them what you're talking about, because you want this to be an experience for them where they actually have a visual on what you're talking about, okay? So grab your oils before you go live, have those things ready to go. Another thing that you want to do is make sure that 2 days before your online class, you text or call the person that you have been sharing oils with. You want to make sure that you touch them one more time before the class so that they're not forgetting or feeling scrambled or scattered before your class. Like, you want to give them fair warning. And then about 2 hours before your class starts, follow up again, just like reach out, text, call, whatever you need to do. Just reach out and just say, hey, don't forget, I'm so excited about tonight. I want to see your face. I can't wait to see you on the call that we're doing, whatever, all the details that you need to give them. Do that about 2 hours before you actually go live. And then you have an increased chance of them actually showing up and being excited when you've made that personal connection and reached out to them, okay? Now remember, make sure your lives are on Zoom. We like to use Zoom a lot. Google Hangouts works okay, but Facebook Lives don't work really well for classes. When you use Zoom or use these online platforms where you can see other people's faces, it works much better. So that's like a hot tip, is like, don't try to go and do a Facebook Live because you think it's going to work a lot better. It's really hard to share your screen. You can't see people's faces. There's a big lag time. Zoom just works really, really well for this sort of interaction in a class, okay? So you have done all the things. You are ready to go for your class. You've got made sure your camera's ready. You've made sure that your lighting is perfect. You're smiling. You've gone to the bathroom. You've got all your stuff situated. You've contacted your people. It's go time. Now listen, if you have not sampled the people that you have invited to this class, chances are you are not going to have a very high close rate because you're going to be talking about oils and products that these people don't have in front of them. If you want to increase your closing rate, if you want to increase the chance of actually having enrollments from your online space, you need to make sure that you actually sample people before your class starts. Okay, so all of this stuff, all of the preparation, all of the things that you're doing won't work well if you haven't actually sampled people and invited them with an oil sample to come into your online space. Okay, so what I like to do is sample with some really simple things, like it's basically peppermint and wild orange, because those are so good for everybody, right? And then I try to sample with something that can be useful for them with one of their health concerns that they'll see an immediate response to in their body. So when you're looking at your list of oils and samples and you've talked to the people that you've invited and they tell you all the problems that they have, don't feel like you need to fix everything with a sample of oil, because you can't, right? But if you sample well, wild orange and peppermint, and maybe On Guard or Digestin or Breathe or Adaptive or Citrus Bliss, there's things that you can use that are going to give people an immediate response that you would be better off sampling with than, say, like somebody says, well, my kid has attention deficit and I need something for that. And then you give them a sample of, I don't know, balance, and they want to know why it didn't work. Well, because there's a lot of stuff that goes into that, right? So sample with some very simple things that people can see an immediate response in their body, and you're going to have a really good response in your online space and getting those people involved and having them be like, oh my gosh, yes, I tried that peppermint and it opened my sinuses right up, and oh my gosh, we had an upset stomach, and or I have heartburn every time I eat and I use the digestion sample and it works so quick, like there's things that you can sample that are really going to encourage people and help them have a good response really quickly. So sample people before your class so that when you're ready to go, when you have everything prepped, you're all ready, they've been sampled, and the closing of your class is going to be much more successful. Okay? Now, let's talk real quick about closing your class online, because this is really hard even in person, right? Like closing a class in person when you're doing all the things and then it gets to the end and you have to like actually close it and get people to enroll. It's really hard for some people, right? So you move that to an online space and it can feel like, ooh, oh my gosh, how do I do this? You guys, here's a couple of things that have been working really, really well for us. The first thing is, once you have everybody join your class, you've got everybody in that space and everybody's hopping in, have your people text you with some question that they need to answer. So, hey everybody, I'm so glad you're here. We're gonna have so much fun tonight. All of you who are on this class, everybody shoot me a text right now and tell me where you're from. They're gonna text you, and that automatically gives you their contact information, right? Because sometimes you'll be hosting a class for somebody who has people jumping on that you don't know. So that's going to help with the interaction a little bit. Or you can say, everybody right now, text me and tell me what your favorite oil that you were sampled is. You were sampled 3 samples. Tell me which one was your favorite. Get them talking to you through text message, okay? And then when you're done with the class and you close the class, you follow up immediately. So you say at the end of your class, okay, you all, there's a couple of ways for you to join doTERRA and get your oils. The first way, the second way, this is how you do it. Now, here's the kits. Tell me which kit you want. Text me right now and tell me what you want right now, and have them text you immediately. And if you don't hear from them, no problem, because you've already sampled them and you know that they're interested, then you can just follow up as soon as you're done with your class. Send them a quick text message. Hey, I'm so glad you were on the class. It was so good to see you. I'm sure you had a great time. It looked like you were really enjoying it. What oils and what kit are you interested in? That's all you have to do. Follow up with them immediately. They already expect you to do that because they have been invited into the space by sampling and you contacting them before, and then you've taught the class and they know that you're going to reach out to them. So don't be scared in this space, okay? People expect to be closed. They expect for you to reach out. If they don't respond to you, don't sweat it. Follow up a couple days later. I say follow up immediately, follow up a day later, and then 3 days later, and that's going to help you with your closing rate, okay? So I hope that this was helpful. You guys, the online space is so great. You can do really, really great things and have incredible enrollments, tons of fun in your classes. But if you don't do the work before and you just pop on and your lighting's bad, your camera angle's all wonky, and you have all these things happening, there's a lot of noise and all of that in the background, it's going to make you feel really frustrated instead of making you feel like a success in the space. So I just want to encourage you, do the work ahead of time, check the boxes off, make yourself a list of things that you need to have ready to go before you actually start your online class. Make sure you're sampling your people, make sure you're contacting them before your class, make sure you have practiced your close so that when it gets to that point in your online class that you're ready to close it, you can do it without feeling panicky and scared. Okay, I'm excited for you to be in this space with us. You guys, you are going to be so successful at this. Please have fun doing it. Don't forget to smile. Invite all your friends. You guys are getting ready to create so much momentum in your business. Good luck, you all.